I have a dream.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Well, let me start out today by saying this is the biggest crowd we've ever had. And what a tribute to Martin Luther King. And what I'd like to talk about is how incredible it is that a community like this, and how proud I am to be part of this community and to be in the position I am to be part of a team that does all these wonderful things. When you talk about the diversity and unity and how important they are, and Martin Luther King, what he preached, for bringing together, well, you see today. You see today the fruits of those days that he preached and bring unity everybody. And this is, I'm telling you, this is growing. It's incredible. And again, to Bensalem, Building Better Bensalem, and Toby, and kind of for the organization that is putting this on, I congratulate you, and you're doing a wonderful job, and you continue that.
Dhamma anupadina anupadaniya dhamma sankireta sankiresika dhamma asankireta sankiresika dhamma asankireta sankiresika dhamma savitaka savicha.
There's a lot of activities that are going on in this township, and I just think this is such a great snapshot. You know, this is probably any other community, I'm going to say within the United States, that you're going to get all these folks together, all these different backgrounds. Well, thank you everyone for coming. It is an unbelievable week that we will continue on to Friday at all the different houses of worship, Catholic and Judaism on Thursday, and We're here with the monks, and last night we were with the Indians, and we'll be with at the Muslim mosque tonight, and St. Ephraim's on Thursday, and Terra of Israel on Thursday night. It's just unbelievable. I don't believe there's any township, certainly in Bucks County. I know there's no township in Bucks County, and I would bet there's nobody in Pennsylvania. To say it's not happening in California, I don't know if I can say that, but it probably isn't. That we bring all these folks together. And this, if you take a look at this, this is probably what Ellis Island looked like so many years back. I mean, we really are a diverse community with everybody coming together under one roof, and that roof is Bensalem Township.
But my name is Councilman. I'm Ed Kisselback. I'm from Philadelphia originally, born and bred in Philadelphia, moved to Bensalem, and I've spent my entire adult life in Bensalem Township. And boy, has it changed. Let me tell you, as Fred said a moment ago, the diversity, the community we have today is just like the United Nations here in Lower Bucks County, and it certainly is. And it just tells you that regardless of what religion you are, whatever ethnicity is, the fact of the matter is there's one thing in common, and that is that we all try to be good. And the teachings, regardless of who you believe or what you believe, is exactly that. In order for us to continue our life, there is good and there is evil. And the goodness that we have here today with the people that are here and the teachings that we have will make us a better person in the future and the life that we have. We need to take that opportunity and spread that word to our friends and our neighbors.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting us to spend this wonderful day with the temple here, the Buddhist monks. Thank you very much. And for hosting today and the delicious lunch that we have to look forward to. And supporting our Unity Week in Bensalem. We're excited and so grateful that we have had this opportunity again this year, as we have for the past 8 years, to celebrate with all of you the diversity within our Bensalem community.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
St. Ephraim's once again is delighted to welcome all of you here today. Really, our church is extremely happy that we are able to participate and host again in Bensalem Unity Week.
Bensalem since about mid-August, and then I find out about B3T, Unity Week, and what I've experienced this week. I was able to be at Lincoln Tabernacle on Monday night and at the Buddhist Temple yesterday, and this really affirms for me that this is the place that I belong, that this is a community, not just a school district, but a community that really values all of its members, and I feel very blessed to be here today, and I thank you.
How can I keep from singing? No sword can shake my inmost calm, but to that rock I'm clinging.
Good afternoon. I've literally come back from Israel. You want to talk about Unity Week? What an interesting place. I just thought it was very unique that I come back to this week here. I have just left a whole nation that's built around centuries and centuries of different civilizations and different religions. And of course, I must say that I think the Israeli people were a wonderful people. I found them to be very welcoming and very open. And I found that one of the things that I took back from that is the only thing that the Israeli people ask from the rest of the world is that they have a right to exist. And I don't think that's a very difficult thing to ask for. So no matter what religion you are, we should all ask that we all have a right to exist and a right to worship in the way we want to. God bless you.
It's just great to be with you today, and certainly I think today important. Let's keep the men and women of our armed forces who are protecting us right now, and also our police and our fire and EMS people who protect us each and every day. Let's keep them close in our thoughts and our prayers. So God bless you and good to be with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. A lot of us were together throughout the week and will continue tonight and tomorrow when we talk about diversity and unity. And you look in here today, the unity that we all have here in Bensalem, to be able to do this, what we're doing all week long. And Toby and your committee at Building a Better Bensalem, kudos to you. You're doing a sensational job.
Bensalem is a beautiful, strong, healthy, diverse community, and we are so thankful that we are able to gather here in prayer in a diverse way we do. Thank you again.
Let there be peace
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
We do want to begin. We're very grateful for your presence here for Build a Better Bensalem Unity Week. And as a Sister of the Blessed Sacrament, in the name of every Sister of the Blessed Sacrament, we welcome you. We also welcome you in the legacy of Catherine Drexel.
My name is Donald Logan, and I'm the advisor of the Bensalem High School Multicultural Club. Before I introduce my officers, I'd like to give you our mission statement and also talk about the goals of the organization. The organization's been around for approximately 15 years. I've been the advisor since 2007, 2008. It's been a very enjoyable experience. The club's mission statement is, the club is a non-profit organization that encourages interaction and cooperation between all cultures. The club goals are to develop an understanding of all cultures, to encourage tolerance of all cultures in our society, provide educational information about all the cultures and countries found in the world, and discuss differences and problems between all cultures in the world. When I first started in 1979 teaching, it's a long time ago, basically we were not as a diverse high school as we are today. Over the years and over laws changing throughout the United States, we've had more students or more cultures come to this country and more cultures come into Bensalem Township. And we are very diverse in high school. At one point in time, we were the most diverse high school in Pennsylvania.
I'm part of both majority and minority. My father is an American-born citizen with German and Russian family ties. He was taught to follow and practice the Jewish faith. Then there's my mother, who was born in the Philippines, but does not have a pure Filipino bloodline. Her bloodline consists of Chinese, Malaysian, and Spanish backgrounds. She was taught to follow and practice the Catholic faith, but would later have a revelation and become Christian. Having a cultural and religious blend that falls outside of sociality norms was difficult to explain to people. When I was younger, this was a disadvantage because I did not have a set identity like most other kids. As I grew and learned through the experiences and teachings of my family, I saw this disadvantage as one of the greatest advantages. I explained to people, I am not a purebred, but a mutt. I say this with pride because I know being of mixed culture and religion was a blessing in disguise. It enables me to recognize and respect all the people of different cultural and religious lifestyles. Living and growing up in a unique cultural environment has given me a natural attraction and yearning for knowledge from all cultures. It is a need for me to mingle and socialize with everyone from every corner and situational standing in my community and abroad. This has led me to always be open to anyone in need. Most of the time, I find that the need people have is just to be heard, for their voice to be passed to someone else so they can see and hear a reaction back. I put myself to everyone as someone to speak to, someone who will not judge you and give you the cold shoulder, because my ultimate goal is to make sure that everyone is happy. I believe in my heart of hearts that I would not be who I am today had I not been born of a father and a mother of different cultural and religious views. I have been gifted with a mind and heart that sees more than face value, and I make sure I share this gift with everyone.
To be completely honest, when I found out I was to write a speech on diversity, I was like to myself, oh gosh, I'm going to mess this up again. In the beginning, I had no idea what to write about. So what did I do? Google it. And I found something that made me realize the true meaning of this word diversity. If you just look it up in the dictionary, it says the state or fact of being diverse. That did not help. I have found a short piece on this one small word, which makes a big statement. The concept of diversity encompasses acceptance and respect. It means understanding that each individual is unique and recognizing our individual differences. These can be along the dimensions of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, age, physical abilities, religion beliefs, political beliefs, or other ideologies. It is the exploration of these differences and in a safe, positive, and nurturing environment. It is about understanding each other and moving beyond simple tolerance to embrace and celebrate the rich dimensions of diversity contained within each individual. This reminded me of my old high school back in Montgomery County because I moved in Bensalem around 2 years ago. And at my old school, they did not have a lot of diversity like there is in Bensalem. Over there, I was considered a minority, but never felt like one. But now when I look back, I felt like I was losing my cultural background and certain beliefs. There was not a person there that I could share a common background with, except for my family. When I moved into Bensalem, I feel like I learned more about myself and became more outgoing than I was before. I learned about my strengths and weaknesses from others and learned about other cultures more than just learning about in a class or a book. I made friends in Bensalem that are very dear to me and made me the person I am today. So the main theme of this speech is how diversity changes a person. And if someone from my old school asked me, who changed you to be this fun-loving, smart person, I would reply simply that Bensalem has changed me.
Diversity, the one word that perfectly symbolizes our community. Diversity, whether it may be regarding race, religion, or culture, is evident in the people of Bensalem. Bensalem is almost a mini melting pot where a variety of people of different backgrounds can come together and successfully create a friendly and diverse environment. Coming from pure Indian background, I feel that living in Bensalem has exposed me to many other cultures and introduced me to their lifestyles. Not only does Bensalem contain diversity, but this community also promotes it. We have many events that honor different cultures and also spreads awareness to other community members. A personal experience of this is during my middle school years in Cecilia Snyder Middle School, where we used to host a cultural day, and during the school hours, students got together and to talk to other students about different cultures and their beliefs, where they come from. Events like these are what made me appreciate cultures other than my own, which is Indian. I learned what it was like to live actually a Hispanic, African American, and Middle Eastern lifestyle. The multicultural group at Bensalem High School provides us with the opportunity of being such a diverse group, which other communities do not have the opportunity to have. This is why I'm proud to be part of Bensalem High School multicultural group, and most importantly, a member of the community of Bensalem Township.
Thank you everybody for coming. What a week we have had. Every year I think Unity Week grows bigger and bigger, as you can see by our audience today. And Unity Week would not be possible without the support of our dignitaries and key supporters, as well as I would like the members of the Diversity Committee to please stand. As the community mobilizer for building a better Bensalem together, I must say, I love this community. I say it all the time. I don't think there is a better community out there. I learn something new every day. I think that you can go out and you can make a friend, a neighbor, and you can learn so many different diverse things and cultures that are going on, and everybody is welcoming. I did not have the experience of growing up in Bensalem, but I have had the experience of working here for 5 years. And I know some of you have heard me say this before. It's not everybody that gets to go to work every day saying, I love my job. And I do. I feel it's, yes, it's hard work, but it is well worth being done. So without further ado, I would like to bring up Lisa Freightlander from the No Place for Hate. For those of you who are aware, Bensalem community is a certified No Place for Hate community. We are in our 8th or 9th year in certification, and I'm going to bring Lisa up to present our recertification.
I'm here today to honor you because of the work that you have done to be a No Place for Hate community. And I have 2 special awards for you. Those of you who have been in the Township building, you have seen that there is a No Place for Hate plaque. It's called a perpetual plaque, which has different dates for every year that you have been designated No Place for Hate. So I have your 2011 date plaque to go on to the large plaque. I also have for you a very large banner that I hope will hang prominently in either your township building or somewhere where residents can regularly see and be reminded that Bensalem has done the work for yet another year to be considered a no place for hate community. Who knows, maybe this can circulate throughout different locations in the community so people all over can see.
This week we honor Dr. Martin Luther King's life by celebrating the religious diversity of our community that we call a Unity Week. Dr. King says, darkness cannot go dry with darkness. Only light can do that. This week we shine a light on our faith community, including Hindu, Jewish, Christians, Islamic, and Buddhist. Let me thank all of those who help us directly or indirectly to make our success program. Thank you. Thank you for joining with us. God bless America.
Thank you, Shannon. Good afternoon, everyone. It's just terrific to be here in this place here. It's so peaceful to come into the chapel here in the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament. I want to thank everybody from Building in Bensalem today for this the wonderful programs that you put on this week, and thank the sisters for holding the event here today. And just real quickly, I was talking to my neighbor who was down in 1963 in August at Dr. Martin Luther King's speech in Washington, his, I Have a Dream speech. And, where has the time gone? Next year, 2013, will be 50 years since we had that speech. And I just thought to myself, just sitting here today, I wonder if Dr. Martin Luther King could be here in Bensalem this week, be here today, and watch what's going on, and watch this wonderful community, diverse community that we have here in Bensalem. And if he was here today and up at the microphone, I bet you he would say, my dream has come true. My dream has come true. So thank you all. Good to be with you today. God bless you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I always say after the week long, we always wind up here at St. Catherine's in this magnificent chapel, which is so important to me. These are very sacred grounds to me, as I had the pleasure of knowing St. Catherine. I went to school across the street there at St. Charles, and we always knew that she was an incredible, wonderful lady. Little did we ever think in those days that she would be a saint here. So these sacred grounds to me are so important, and it's so good to always come here and be able to see what goes on. And we talk about Martin Luther King and the great things that he did, and the diversity. And if you really get the opportunity, if you don't know about St. Catherine, she kind of blazed a trail herself. She was with African American and American Indians, and to make sure that they got a fair way in life. And she did that her whole life. So we can compare her and Dr. Martin Luther King, what they did. And I'll tell you, there is no community. I don't care. I hope they can equal what Bensalem does. I hope they are out there. There is no community that does what we do here. No community that it does the unity and diversity that we do right here in Bensalem Township. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And it certainly starts with building a better Bensalem and the example that they show. And Lisa, thank you again for being here this year, presenting that. And I remember that very first time 8 years ago. Actually, we were at Rush School. And I remember that. And when that was given out in Rush School and all those youngsters were sitting out there, well, I'll tell you what, if that wasn't diversity like you've never seen, and it continues today, but this is what Bensalem's about. And thinking about Dr. Martin Luther King, thinking about St. Catherine, how fortunate are we of the legacies that they're giving us to follow, the legacies to follow.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Councilman Ed Kisselback. And first and foremost, I want to thank the activities of the Building a Better Bensalem Together. They took me through the entire world in 1 week. And I want to thank them. Would everyone please give them a round of applause for what they do for our community. Thank you. We began our tour of the world by learning a little bit more about the life of Dr. Martin Luther King. He was a great civil rights individual, a thinker, and an orator that basically taught us a lot in life. Well, Mother, you can't, if you are a member of Bensalem, you are a Bensalem resident, you can't mention his name without mentioning the name of Mother Catherine Drexel. Because when it comes to civil rights, she was an advocate and a doer. She was a woman who literally put her money where her mouth was. She took her entire fortune, the Drexel fortune, invested in the life of others, and was sacrificial with her entire life for the good of others. And she is the epitome of what we learned this week, which is going through all different religions, looking at all the different groups that we had talked to, is that you must love your neighbor as yourself. And that's exactly what she did. And if we can take that lesson and we can teach that to our children, that would be something that it will take from me, from all of us, from Bensalem Township, and from our saint from Bensalem, Mother Catherine Drexel. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here, and God bless all of us.
You know, we were talking, Toby and I, and a couple of us was talking the other night. We were at the Faith Unity. I don't get it. I just don't get the whole thing. If we can sit here and look at this, it's a crayon box of colors. If we can all sit here like a box of crayons with all these different colors, why do we have the problems that we have all over the place? And the mayor said it, and he's not kidding. If they could just take Bensalem and snapshot it all over the country, you know, things would be so much easier. A lot of us would probably be out of work because there wouldn't be no place where hate would be done, because the whole country would be that way. It's not rocket science. All this is getting together and serving a lunch or serving a dinner, which I'm all for, by the way. But it's really not rocket science. I mean, we're doing it here in Bensalem, and you know, I read a lot of articles in different magazines, whether it's law enforcement or township or emergency responders, and you read different programs that are going out throughout the country. I said, we did that 3 years ago. We did that last year. Oh, we did that 4 years ago. Oh, we did that 17 years ago. And these people are just writing about it. Somebody should do something like this to replicate it throughout the United States, and it would all be over for us. You know, there would be peace. We'd have peace in the Middle East. We'd have peace throughout America. It really wouldn't be that difficult. Think of all the good stuff we could do with all that money that we were putting towards our military and everything else. It's just not that. It's not rocket science. Here we are, a box of crayons, sitting together, all getting along. It's not that difficult.
Good afternoon. I couldn't help but think, as I was just sitting there and listening, especially to the young people who spoke, that they were reiterating the words that Catherine Drexel herself were in her heart today. As you spoke about the 10 years award for the Bensalem here, I think all things we know begin with seeds. And the seeds for Bensalem, of all that we heard today, have been growing for a long time, much longer than 10 years. I think they've been growing for at least 121 years. For 121 years, people have gathered in this sacred space to pray. To pray with the heart of Catherine Drexel for the unity and community of all peoples. The reason Catherine Drexel began our congregation was for that very reason. Because of very truthfully, the hate and the discrimination that was in our country, regarding especially among African and Native American peoples. So what was here today, this delights her heart and soul. I don't know how eternal life works, but I believe her presence is very much with us. And I think maybe we are as great as we are today because of those seeds planted so many years ago.
I have a dream